What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Link and more with some breaking news. The Oklahoma City Thunder just acquired, or agreed in principle to acquire, Carmelo Anthony from the New York Knicks. Big money. I like it. Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony now. The Thunder, give up McDermott, for a guy who ain't never lived up to his potential coming out of Creighton. And they gave up Enes Kanter, a guy that's the definition of streaky and erratic with his play. One night, looked like an all-star. Next night, looked like a Euro bum. But, good for Oklahoma City, man. Definitely a way for Sam Presti to bounce back. He made two of the greatest trades I've ever seen. He gave up Victor Oladipo and I think Sabonis for Paul George or whatever he gave up, and that's nothing. Then he turns around and give up Enes Kanter, who's always injured and up and down in this play, and McDermott, who been moved again since being acquired from Chicago, and got Carmelo Anthony. And that shows you that San Antonio's system is just great. That's what Presti came from, and he just made two of the greatest deals I've ever seen, man. He turned a team that, supposedly didn't have any help for Russell Westbrook and turned them into title contenders, and contenders in the West. Now this is going to be funny to see how Carmelo Anthony meshes with Russell Westbrook, because I don't have any issue with Paul George, but Paul George did say he wants to go for the MVP this year. We know Carmelo is a ball-dominant guy and Russell Westbrook is a ball-dominant guy. And people say, well, he averaged 10 assists last year. It have nothing to do about, letting guys work and letting them go get their own shot. Westbrook don't create a lot of shots for people. His assists can be deceiving. So the maturation of him getting a second opportunity to play with two more bona fide all-stars, at least when he had Harden, Ibaka, and then KD and Harden being the all-stars. Now the maturation, seeing if he can accommodate and keep George and Carmelo Anthony happy and let them handle the ball and learn to play off ball a little bit as well. And Carmelo has to adjust as well and become more of a utility guy. He got to be a better defender. He got to be willing to score on the block. He got to be willing to play without the ball. He got to be willing to rebound. He got to be really willing to defend. So we know Paul George is the ultimate all-star glue guy with superstar potential. We know he can defend. We know he can play without the ball. We know he can be aggressive. We know he can take over when he wants to. We know he can block, rebound. He going to do the little things. Now it's up for Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook to do the little things and not be as selfish. For some reason, Carmelo Anthony did not want to go to Portland. He did not want to go to Portland. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, pretty much wanted him to come over there. They cried, they begged, they promoted for him to come over there. It was a deal in place to send him to Portland with the Trailblazers. He didn't want to do it. He didn't. And that speaks volumes about that team. And Portland is a great basketball town. He would rather go to Cleveland. He said he would go to Cleveland and be stuck there in the rest of his deal while potentially LeBron moved on and went to LA, wherever he's going to win, and be stuck in Cleveland. And then he'd rather go to Oklahoma City and possibly be stuck in Oklahoma City if Westbrook and Paul George boat next year for LA or wherever they're going to go, than be in Portland where both of those stars are going to be there. And they had Nurkic. So that just tells you that he didn't believe in the Portland system. He didn't want to play with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. He didn't want to be in Portland. He really wanted to be in Houston, but he really did not want to be in Portland. If he chose basically 1 year championship or bust teams with Cleveland and Oklahoma City. So whatever his gripe was with Portland, I don't know what it was, because Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum would have loved to have him. He didn't want to go there. He'd rather go to Oklahoma City and play with Westbrook and Paul George. I thought Portland would be the ideal fit for him to show those young guys how to win. But obviously, he liked his chances in Oklahoma City better. And potentially he could be stuck in Oklahoma City for the rest of his contract while Westbrook and Paul George both. Now, how do they fit? Where they placed in the West? I don't know. You have to see the way they play together. It's gonna be a filling out period. We've seen it with Golden State. We've seen it with Miami back in the day. We've seen it with Boston. It's a filling out period. They ain't gonna come out here and go 82-0. And is they the second best team in the West? I don't know. I truthfully don't know. I like the way Houston is assembled. But Paul George, I think, can get them the edge because Paul George can defend multiple positions. Westbrook can defend multiple positions. If Carmelo defends like he defends versus LeBron when it's a big game back in the day, I mean, they got 3 guys that can defend their position. Now, as a big guy, they're missing a big guy with Enes Kanter out. And basically, the league is going small ball, so they do got to find a guy that can play the middle. I don't know who they drafted or what's going on there, but they got to find a guy to play the middle that's serviceable in the middle. You got to get some shooters out there as well. Some glue guys that can spot up and make it. You got Robertson that can read up and that can defend still. So they got a glue guy in that sense. But they got to just find depth and specialty guys. They got to find a 3-point shooter. They got to find a big guy that can control the paint, that can rebound and defend a little bit. Houston got that. Houston got Ryan Anderson that can stretch the floor. Houston got Clint Capella that can rebound. They got the point guard and the shooting guard. We got to see how that work out with both of them being ball dominant. They got Trevor Reeves. I think they still got Eric Gordon. So overall, they have a more fuller team to make the jump. But it's going to be an adjustment period for both of these guys. And hopefully, Westbrook reads up in Oklahoma City. Paul George reads up in Oklahoma City. And them and Carmelo can grow together and possibly get a championship. But still, you look at Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Too much, man. Just too much. And JaVale McGee played this role down the stretch. That team is just too strong. And then they added depth as well. And Steve Kerr said that team should be better with the added depth they got. With the little guy they got off the bench that shoot the threes, he's starting to find his niche in there. Iguodala came back. So it's going to be tough for them, man. But they can be a solid 2 or 3 in the West. Depends on how they grow. Depends how Houston grows. Just San Antonio got to bust a move now with Aldridge and Paul Gasol. They got to adjust and keep up with the Joneses, in my opinion. But Melo to Oklahoma City with Westbrook and Paul George, huge. And the NBA is going to be lit this year, especially what's going on with the NFL. We gone.